WinterGarden police find missing girl, sidewalk repairs in Windermere, kitties that need your help, and September 11th, 20 years later. The date is September 9th, 2021. We're going to go through these stories and more. Welcome to West Orange on the Go. My name is Austin Arthur, and this is where we do local news and comment. And when I say local news, I mean hyper local. West Orange. This is your news. We begin in 10 seconds.
You're listening to West Orange on the Go. Brought to you by the West Orange Times and Observer. Hosted by Austin Arthur. West Orange on the Go.
Law enforcement officers have located a missing teenager. WinterGarden Police Department Captain Scott Allen said the teenager was located at 12:20 p.m. Tuesday, September 7th, in the Summer Lake community at Horizon West, along with another 13-year-old runaway. Captain Allen said Orange County Sheriff's Office deputies located the teenager the night before, but she ran off before they could take her into custody. Now, if you are on Facebook locally, you would have seen this story was ablaze on the Facebook. A very caring community who was worried about this young lady. Certainly at 13 years old, we should all be worried when a young lady goes missing like that. Glad she is found. Windermere will be focusing on repairing local sidewalks this week. The town's contractor, Precision Sidewalk Safety, will be completing more than 400 repairs throughout Windermere. The Windermere repairs aim to be less invasive, more cost-effective, and longer lasting than traditional sidewalk grinding. Weather permitting, the repairs will go on until September 10th. Now, vaccine passports have been a topic of concern, and this does influence our hyper-local conversation as businesses, schools, government agencies could be fined up to $5,000 if they ask for proof of a COVID-19 vaccine. This all being put into effect on September 16th, prohibiting businesses and schools from requiring proof of vaccination, citing the need to prevent, quote, government overreach, end quote. Orange County Animal Services are asking the community to help in fostering local kittens who need around-the-clock care. Amy Sullivan, Program Coordinator of Foster Care and Adoptions for OCPS, Orange County Animal Services, who lives in WinterGarden, said they are most in need of foster parents for orphan kitties. Quote, "We get so many small kittens who aren't fully feeding on their own and really have a need for foster parents who can bottle feed," end quote. OCPS said they are looking for people who have experience caring for cats and kittens so that the process of fostering can be sped up and the cats can go into the best home possible. Those who wish to become foster parents must attend an orientation session, which is available online. Now, for more info and the full story, you can visit orangeobserver.com. Now, we all know what this weekend is, so please stay with me to hear the final story as we discuss some items surrounding 9/11. With that being said, I want to encourage you this weekend to find the big red box. That's right. All around the community are big red boxes. And inside those boxes is the West Orange Times and Observer. I encourage you to open them up and grab one for yourself. It is free. But you can also go to orangeobserver.com. You can listen like you're doing now, and you can also join the Facebook page. Live stories coming through there constantly for you to stay in tune with your hyper-local news. Now this, Orange County Public School System offering $3,500 sign-on bonuses. That's right, $3,500 just to start working with the Orange County Public School System in the Food and Nutrition Services Department. Now, they are running a job fair, and depending on when you're listening to this broadcast, you can still catch it. It's going on until Friday. It ends at 1:30 p.m., starts as early as 9:30 a.m. But if you're listening to this broadcast late, you might have already missed it. That's why it's important. Thursdays. Now, let's go into some hyper-local sports news. Number 1, Dr. Phillips volleyball player Skias Handline announced her commitment to Trevecca Nazarene University, a Division II school in Nashville. Congratulations. And number 2, West Orange High School's girls cross-country team took third place in the Winter Springs Invitational this past Saturday, September 4th. Number 3, Foundation Academy improves to a 2-0 on the season after a 38-6 victory over Orangewood Christian. Number 4, Friday, September 10th marks week 3 of the high school football season. Dr. Phillips plays Apopka at home. Olympia and Ocoee will play at Olympia. Horizon will also play its first varsity regular season home game against Colonial. Fans can purchase tickets with the GoFan app. Now, our sports editor, Chris Martucci, has made the call. He has selected the game of the week. Now, the one to keep an eye out for is Dr. Phillips versus Apopka. On Tuesday, September 7th, the Chef's Table and Tasting Room in downtown WinterGarden gave back to the community. The restaurant donated 10% of its sales to Matthew's Hope in order to help the homeless in West Orange County. Now, Matthew's Hope is a non-profit ministry based in WinterGarden, Florida, and its focus is on homeless outreach. Lori Tarter, the owner of Chef's Table, said that they frequently donate to Matthew's Hope. She added, quote, "We hope that as people read online what we are doing to help this community nonprofit out, more citizens may learn about what Matthew's Hope is doing for those in need," end quote. And now, before we go into the final story, which of course is about 9/11, 20th anniversary, I want to talk a little bit about a story that I've been telling you about, a personal story, which is with regard to my daughter's school. Now, as I told you, she's 7 years old. She is in the first grade, and the school that she was at really did not align with our values and principles. And it was in a major way. We were looking at schools to switch her for next year. We were looking at some private schools, Christian private schools. There were a few that we looked at, some really good ones. Ultimately, and by coincidence, we went with Foundation Academy. We put an application in last week. Now, I say by coincidence because they are a sponsor of this program, but that is not why we selected them. They've been doing it for a long time, since 1958, focusing on, of course, faith, academics, fine arts, athletics, excellent in athletics. You could hear in the sports section. But to me, the most important thing is what is being told to my daughter when she's alone with these other people at school. What is being taught? What is being said? Do they align with my own values and principles? Last week, she was accepted into the Foundation Academy. So I can't tell you enough now from a personal perspective how grateful I am for this school. They start class, they have the Pledge of Allegiance, do a prayer. Right up my alley. I'm a traditionalist. I'm not afraid to say that I love my country, and my faith comes first. Foundation Academy serves grades pre-K through grade 12. 3 beautiful campuses, 1 great school, all Christ-centered. Foundation Academy, where character matters. And now to the final story. Of course, it is about 9/11, the events that took place on September 11th, 2001. I heard somebody say, we are enduring the 20th anniversary. And I thought that was an interesting way to put it. It's not a celebration. It's not a positive marking in history that we revisit. Perhaps it is appropriate to utilize that phrasing, to endure the 20th anniversary of 9/11. We're releasing a great piece on digital, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere your podcast is available. And it's about remembering 9/11. And I would love and appreciate if you take a listen to that piece. Now look out for it. There will be some notifications coming up on the platforms so that you can find it. West Orange on the Go. But this weekend, what I'd like to encourage you to do is find one of those big red boxes all around the community. Get your West Orange Times and Observer. You are going to want to put this one in your hands. Lay your eyes directly on it. It's a special edition in remembrance of 9/11, and it is beautiful. Beautifully laid out, beautiful content, very touching stories. Amy Questenberry has a story in there with one Michelle Bergstein Fontanez. She will never forget the sounds of chaos, the smell of burning debris and metal, or the feeling of walking side by side among thousands of New Yorkers covered in soot and dust. She now lives in West Orange and tells her story. Associate editor Jim Carchidi tells us the story about WinterGarden resident Norman Reen, who worked with the response team at Ground Zero. Annabelle Sykes, one of our staff writers, introduces us to Teresa Rinaldi. Now, she was living on Long Island at the time of the attacks, and two of her friends were at the towers at the time. And one of them made it, and the other did not. Her full story in the paper this week. Now, one piece I really encourage you to read inside of this week's paper is by editor and publisher, our editor and publisher, Michael Eng. Now, he has an incredible piece with a very important message. Now, he was in the building during 9/11 with President George W. Bush when it occurred. He was there as a press representative. And again, I really think that you will enjoy his piece and appreciate his important message. Please don't forget to check out our special hosted right here on West Orange on the Go. And it's in remembrance of 9/11. It's going to be a nice episode, and I really think it's important, the message of that episode. So please be sure to check it out. Anywhere your podcast is available, on Facebook, you could share it, you can heart, you can comment. And now, I want to thank you for taking the time to walk through this week's hyper local news with me. Together we are more informed. But I want to hear your feedback, your questions, your ideas. Message me by visiting westorangeonthego.com. That's westorangeonthego.com. This has been Austin Arthur with the West Orange Times and Observer. And until next week, have a happy and blessed weekend.
West Orange on the Go is brought to you by the West Orange Times and Observer. Hosted by Austin Arthur. West Orange on the Go.